Welcome to our Friday live. Welcome. We've been very anticipating this live. We have 10 new features that we're dying to show you. I sent everybody an email. I hope you got the email. Talk for a little bit until people get in here. Um, but what you're gonna want to do if you want to follow along today, if you're already on the platform, you can go to Nurzee.com and start by logging in. You want to log in up here. Um, and we are going to walk you through some of the new features. We got 10, so it's going to take probably about 30 minutes, maybe roughly 25 to 30 minutes, um, which is good. Our in-house programmer has been working nonstop. I don't think he slept. He's just trying to make this platform way easier for you guys. Take the interpretation out of the whole thing. You guys join in. I'm gonna go back to the live, see if we got anybody joining. Looks like we got about 3 people in here. Might as well start. All right, welcome to the Friday live stream. We will be going through 10 new features, and we might even go through a couple more because we like to over deliver. So it probably might be more than 10. But first of all, I'll just give you a quick run through, and then we'll go through them on the computer. We're gonna go through everything from a master account to a temp tool to multiple search bars, document expiration tracker. We have documentation, encryption, notes, invoicing systems, and it keeps going and going and going. That's just a few to name. To start off, like I said, if you're just joining in, you want to jump on Nurzee.com if you want to follow along. We're going over some new features that we have. And the reason that you can't see me today is because the picture is not working. But I will be passing the live over to our programmer because he will be able to navigate through this a lot better than I will. But again, as always, if you have questions, just put them down in the chat live, and we'll love to answer some questions. There will be a Q&A at the end. If anybody stays to the end, that would be awesome. But right now, I'm about to pass it over to our programmer, Patrice. Patrice, is on you, man.
Hi guys, Patrice here. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Nurzee, and I'd like to show you guys the new exciting features. As Nurzee grows, we like to make your lives easier, super easy. And that's the reason why we've been working day and night to make the portals, to make the dashboards perfect, and convenient for you guys. Right now managing your temps, with the staffing accounts is a lot easier, and now also navigating the dashboard through the healthcare facility account is a lot easier as well. So today I'm going to walk you guys through some of the features we worked on, and hope you guys like them. All right, so right now I'm actually gonna go ahead and log in as a staffing agency first. So I go on here, and this staffer, her name is Susie. So we're gonna log into her staffing agency. So I'm gonna go ahead and click sign in now. So right now we're signed in as a staffing agency. Again, this is all demo content. We actually had to replicate the platform on on a new link just so we can show you guys the new features. So all the information here is not, it's just demo content, so we can show you, walk you guys through the different features we've worked on. All right, so this staffing agency is called Zio Staffing LLC. So for those of you who have never seen the staffing agency dashboard, this is kind of how it looks like. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, you can, anything you're trying to do, you pretty much see it on here right away. But since I'm just trying to show you guys the new features, I'm just gonna jump right into that. So one thing we did, though, if we go to request, we added if you notice, we added a whole column here where you can search through shift IDs. So now it's easier, it's really easy to search through shift IDs. Take, for example, you're talking to one of our account managers here, and there you guys are talking, you're talking about a shift you're trying to get for your temp. It's a lot easier now because our account manager can just give you a shift ID, and you can go right here and just take, for example, you type the shift ID number, so 9786, and hit enter, and PAM, it takes you directly to that particular shift, and you can go ahead and suggest a temp for that shift. So now it's a lot easier, for you guys to like locate shifts. So we're gonna, refresh this page. One other thing we also added is the location column. So now you're aware of where a healthcare facility is located at. So we also made it extra easy because now when you hover on the maps, it actually shows you the address for that particular facility. Again, everything here is demo content, so there's really no street called 321 Main West. It's just for demo purposes. But on our live website, obviously hovering here is just going to show you the actual facilities location. And so that's kind of one of the neat tools we added here for to kind of make life a lot easier for the staffing agencies. Again, this is the staffing agency portal, so every explanation is related to that. All right, so now the next thing we added, if we go to the temp section, obviously this is where the staffing agency is gonna see all the temps they've uploaded, all their temporary workers. For those of you guys who don't know what that means, so basically a staffing agency, they have all these temporary workers who are like registered nurses, CNAs, TMAs, DSPs, and so on and so forth. So they upload them to their own portal. So when they're trying to pick up shifts for these temporary workers, they can easily do that through the portal. But right here, it's populated with all the temporary workers on their portal, on their dashboard. So right now we have only two demo users. One thing we added to this page right here was this search bar. So now it's a lot easier to search through temps, because if you think about it, if a temp has 30 plus temporary workers, it's going to be a lot harder for that temp to locate certain temps. So we added a search bar where they can easily just type out the first name and hit enter, and that takes them right to that temp. So again, this is all making the lives of the staffing agencies a lot easier. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go ahead and refresh that page again. And if you guys notice, we added a new tab, a new column here. It's called Documents Expired tab. So now our system does check to see if every document is up to date and very current. We know a lot of the healthcare facilities, they call a lot, trying to figure out if the TEMS, CNA, or sometimes even driver's license is expired and all that. Now we added a feature and a whole column here that tells the staffing agency which documents are expired and when they expired. So as you can see here, it shows that this person's if when I hover here, if you guys look at the right side, it says CNA certificate and CNA NH just means nursing home. So basically it's showing that this particular stamp document CNA license certificate is expired. So the system actually sends this staffing agency an email telling this staffing agency to check, just to make sure that that temp certificate is not expired. So again, for those who are joining in now, I just noticed a couple people joining in. Again, I want to say this is a demo link, so all this information is just for demo purposes. This is actually my name, so it's just actually we're just demoing everything. So it's just I'm not showing someone's information online, but yeah, it's just for demo purpose right here. So again, so we added this part, so it actually goes and checks and makes sure that every document uploaded on the system is up to date, and if anything expires, the staffing agency gets an email saying that that particular document is expired, and we as the admins get an email as well telling us that this particular temp from this particular staffing agency's document has expired, so we can reach out to them and make sure that they get that handled.
You mind if I jump in real quick, Patrice? I think this is my favorite feature so far, just because of the notices that you get of your documents being expired. That helps on both sides, through the temps and the agencies. It's super cool that you put that in there, man. I just wanted to throw that in.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so we have that now, and if you guys notice, we have a new section called notes. So now the way this works is usually when a staffing agency recommends a temp for a shift, because that's how it works. When there's an open shift, the staffing agency recommends a temp, one of their temps, for that shift, then we as the admins approve that, that particular transaction. So that we approve that order. So usually at the end of an order, so basically once a temp is approved for a shift and the temp actually goes and does that shift, at the end, this healthcare facility has a section where they're able to put feedback about that particular temp. So usually when they put that feedback, we see the feedback. The staffing agency doesn't see the feedback. So when we see that feedback, we now go in the back end and we added a new feature called the notes section. So we now summarize that feedback in the notes section. So now the staffing agency is able to see all that feedback. So when the staffing agency goes to the temp section, when they click on temps, right here, and they see this, as you can see, it says two notes. That means, two our admins have given they've written some feedback from a staffing agency, so sorry, from a healthcare facility. So when the staffing agency clicks on here, they kind of see that feedback. Again, it's time stamped. It's time stamped just so the staffing agency can see when that note was created and who did it, so they can call and probably request to talk to the particular person that added that note, so they can get more information and kind of handle the situation. If it's a major situation, usually they'll like call us and they'll try to figure out what happened and get in touch with the temp. So we think this is a really important tool because we sometimes we get complaints about certain temps. We get certain feedback that we need to relay to the staffing agency, and over time they usually forget. So we kind of put this section here so they can always see the feedback we add, so they can always go back, see the timestamp. They can always see, if there's a troublesome temp, they'll see a whole timeline of complaints probably. So
I like that feature too, because exactly what you said. If it's a troublesome temp, or if they're really good too on that thing, you could put a great note in there as well.
Of course, yeah. So it's not all bad stuff. So usually when if a healthcare facility gives some good feedback, we do add that here as well. So
awesome.
it's not just bad stuff. So that's kind of one item we added. So that kind of makes things a lot easier. All right. So another thing we did too is we take security very seriously. So one thing we did as a team was we literally worked on the security of the platform. So we kind of encrypted every file that is uploaded now on the Nurzee platform, goes through a couple processes before it actually reaches the server. So all documentation is encrypted in such a way that anything that goes through a platform is very secured, and in case God forbid we have a breach someday or something, we're not going to be affected because all the documents are extremely encrypted and protected. So that's kind of one thing we did. It took us a while, but we just wanted to do it the right way, so we finally did that. So another really amazing feature we added, and a lot of people like this feature, as this item right here. It's the submit feedback. So now again, we're trying to make Nurzee the number one choice for staffing agencies and healthcare facilities. So obviously we have our ideas on how we can do this, but the truth is the people using it are the ones who can really give us feedback and give us ideas on what we can do on the platform, to kind of make it a lot better. So that's kind of why we added this button. It's called the submit feedback. So if in case a staffing agency or healthcare facility has a feature that they think is going to make their lives a lot better, or make the Nurzee platform the quality a lot better, they can actually click on this submit feedback, and it actually has two options. It has the submit feedback or feature request. Obviously feature request just means they want a certain feature built and implemented that's going to make things a lot easier, and so they can put that here. Or if they just have general feedback about the platform, or maybe whatever feedback, actually any feedback, they put that here. And we check this every day. It comes to our main email, so we're always in a lookout to what people think about the platform and what people want added to the platform. All right. Another feature that we added, that I think is gonna help save a lot of time, especially in the staffing agency part, is we added a replace temp tool. So now usually, so right here I clicked on orders, and again, orders pretty much is when a shift has been a staffing agency has recommended a temp for a certain shift, and that has been approved. So that temp, so for example, this Pat is about to do this shift, and this is the date that this Pat has to do the shift, and this is the facility that Pat is going to do that shift at. So now, if for some reason Pat cannot make it to this shift, now the staffing agency can easily switch this temp. So it's really easy right now. Right now, what they do is they just click on this drop down right here, and they click replace temp. And once they click replace temp, this pop-up is going to appear with all their temps populated in this drop down right here. So if they choose another temp and click save changes, what happens is it's going to send the healthcare facility an email saying that a temp, so if in this case Pat, was switched with the new temp, which is in this case is probably going to be James. So the healthcare facility gets an email saying that Pat has been switched and James is now going to cover this shift. So that email goes to the healthcare facility, and now Pat is going to get a text message that says that he's been removed from that particular shift, and the new temp, in this case James, is gonna get a text message as well saying that he's been assigned to this shift. So three things happen. So when a staffing agency replaces a temp, the healthcare facility gets an email saying that the temps have been switched for that particular shift. The old temp, which is in this case Pat, gets a text message saying, the text message is going to say that Pat has been removed for that shift, and the new temp, which is going to be James in this case, gets a text message saying that he's been assigned to this shift. So in this way, there's some accountability. No temp can say, oh, they didn't know they had to do this shift, or
Yes.
the system is so it does a lot of things now for people. It sends a lot of text messages, sends a lot of emails. We notice that text messages are working. A lot of people see the text messages, so we're doing a lot more of that. We're having the system send a lot of text messages. One thing though that I would like to say live right now is we're using a third-party service called Twilio for the text message system, and so if someone ever types unsubscribe in a text message, obviously the text message is going to come out from a dedicated number. If someone types unsubscribe to that text message as a reply, what's going to happen is that all text messages are going to stop coming. So we do always advise the staffing agencies to tell their temps not to type unsubscribe, because I don't think temps were going to type that, but actually we have a case where three people actually typed that and they stopped getting text
Oh
messages.
wow.
And I was surprised because I didn't know how they knew about that. So um so that's so
That
just the staffing agencies should just kind of educate their temps not to do that, so they can get all the text messages.
definitely, that's a great feature too, guys. The
Mhm.
how it contacts three people,
Right.
the people that got switched, the people that has the new ship, and the agency. That's awesome. It covers all three bases. I like that one too.
Okay, so we're getting a few messages, a few questions here. So Bobby is asking how can they better communicate call offs to the facilities. By the way, before I answer Bobby's question, Bobby has been really instrumental in inspiring a lot of these new features. So we're really grateful to her for that. A lot of the features we've actually added here were recommendations from Bobby, and we really like that because as is a lot of the things she says. It's really a lot of the staffing agencies and healthcare facilities love the features. So thank you, Bobby. And to answer your question, how can um, they better communicate call offs to facilities? So right now we kind of have a system where usually when a temp cannot really show up for a shift. Obviously, we really don't have so much control over the temps that cannot, they don't do no call, no shows, because that one is hard to know because they just don't show. But for the ones who actually call, usually what they do is they call the staffing agency, and the staffing agency, some of them call us sometimes. And so once they do that, we had a long process. We try to get them to get another temp to cover that shift. And that's really been the problem. The process has been long, and we think that that's kind of why a lot of temps have not been, a lot of staffing agencies have not been efficiently covering shifts. So with this replace temp tool, we think that that problem will be really addressed, because right now when a temp calls a staffing agency saying they cannot make it to their shift. Now they can just give the shift ID. If a temp calls the staffing agency and says, well, I cannot make it to shift ID 5540, the staffing agency can search for that shift. Obviously, this place will be populated with so many orders for like active staffing agencies. So the staffing agent can search for that order. And what we always encourage the staffing agencies to do, first of all, is to find one of your temps that can actually cover that shift. And we actually have a lot of tools right here. We have a reports tool where they can actually filter. I'm going to show you that real quick. There's this tool called temp availability. So if they click there and they filter if we just say like the first, and we say like to the 31st, and we show availability, the system actually shows them the times when other temps are available. So as you can see, this guy has to do this. So now they see when other temps are available, and they can try now to cover that shift. They can try now to call their other temps and try to get them, if they get a temp that is willing to do this particular shift. So now they go now with this easy process. Just click on replace temp and just replace the temp and hit
Super
save.
helpful. That's
So I really do think that this is gonna help a lot of the call offs. And again, we really don't have so much control over the no call, no shows. But obviously we have a policy that when a temp does a no call, no show, we actually get that temp off the platform right away. Because what we're looking for now, we're not too interested in quantity. We're looking for quality now.
quality.
So
Yes.
if people are willing to do no call, no shows, then at that point we think they don't want to work with us, so we kind of take them off the platform and work with those people who are serious. Because at least we always ask for a courtesy, like for them to call us and call the staffing agencies and at least let them know. So right now, with that strict policy in hand, getting off temps that don't do temps that do no call, no shows, we're hoping that this feature will make the call off reduce drastically. At least right now we think staffing agencies have a tool that they can easily control all of that. So again, we're still gonna keep monitoring it, looking for other, if this option doesn't work, again we're still gonna get other options. One advantage I've always we always say we have over other VMS platforms is that we have our own developers. We have people working on the platform continuously. So whenever there's something we need to tweak, we go right to the lab and build it and
Get it
implement
done.
it.
Yep.
So that's the one advantage. So Bobby, I really hope that answered the question. So we really hope that this tool really kind of brings call offs, the percentage down like drastically. All right, so now moving on to the next feature, we have a whole invoicing platform we built. So this invoicing platform is to make life a lot easier for the staffing agencies. So this link, we actually created this demo link today. So the way this invoice platform works is we're actually gonna do a lot more training on this because it's a huge platform. Took us about 2 months to build, and this is to kind of help staffing agencies generate their invoices. What the system actually does, we have this, we call it the magic tool, the generate an invoice. So what happens is, once they click on generate an invoice, the system is going to go through the platform. It does it every week, so it's like 7 days in a week. It's gonna search through the platform for those 7 days, and it's gonna generate an invoice, because the system knows when shifts are booked, when shifts are assigned. The system knows all of that. So generating an invoice, we wrote an algorithm that goes, checks the entire platform, checks the past orders, and generates an invoice, a precise invoice, of an invoice that shows the temps that have worked this particular shifts and all that. So it does that for the staffing agency. Obviously, there are some cases where the staffing agency, the temps maybe go there. The system booked a temp, a shift for like probably like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. But the temp went there and someone didn't show up for like maybe 2 hours, and the temp was there from 7 to maybe like 5 p.m. Obviously, the system doesn't know that. That's why we also implemented an edit tool. So once you generate your invoice, there's going to be an edit tool where they can edit that and maybe change the time a little bit. If obviously, before they submit any invoice to the admin, which is us in the back end, the system is going to make sure that those that staffing agency uploads the time cards, because it's really through the time cards that we can check and see if those extended times are verified. So that's kind of how it works. I can't really demo it right now because again, we just created this demo link today, and so the system is requiring that this staffing agency creates an invoice next Monday. So invoices are generated every Monday by noon, and so
And
next Monday
we could probably do an invoice video one of these days. We just have to like blurt out all the names and actual data.
Oh no, no, no! Of course, this is a demo website, so it's not really gonna matter since it's still
Right,
gonna
right,
be
right.
demo content. So yeah, so we're definitely gonna, next Monday we're gonna generate an invoice and kind of do another video, kind of show you guys how that works, because the invoice on its own will require a whole live stream, because there's a lot going on here. All right. So that's it with the invoice manager, the invoice system.
Hey, we're only on number 9, you guys, and we have I think about 3 or 4 more. So just stay tuned. We got more coming. We're only on number 9. Can you believe that?
Okay, so number 9. All right. So another cool feature we added is, right now a lot of the healthcare facilities, unfortunately, the corona cases are like growing every single day, and so healthcare facilities, a lot of them really need their shifts covered, and a lot of them really need CNAs, RNs, and all that. But so we were just thinking, and we're trying to figure out a way that staffing agencies can know right away when a healthcare facility posts a shift. So because we want to keep the staffing agencies informed every time, so they can cover the shifts as fast as possible, because the healthcare facilities require these healthcare professionals to come to these facilities, because again, these are these are patients and all that who need people 24 hours. So we created a feature called the real-time notification, and I'm actually gonna demo this by I'm gonna go on my other computer and I'm gonna upload a shift, and I'm gonna show you how that real-time notification works. So again, we're on a staffing agency's platform, Zio Staffing. So on my other computer, just a second here, I'm gonna upload a shift. I'm gonna do 3 p.m. just to kind of show you guys how the real-time notification works. So we're gonna do Minnesota. And I upload, and as you can see,
Oh, that was cool.
real time, this appeared right away. So when healthcare facilities upload shifts, we get a notification right away. So as you can see, it shows here that Pixino Healthcare LLC just uploaded a new shift. and it gives a shift ID. The reason we added the shift ID is just so if the staffing agency sees this notification and they like staffing this particular healthcare facility, they can just see this shift ID and they can head directly to the request page and they can like type out that shift ID. So that's kind of how that works. So we added this real-time notification to get so obviously we noticed that a lot of staffing agencies are always online. Some of them, they have their platforms open, and so we don't want them to go to request each time and refresh the page just to see if there are new shift added. So we kind of added that real-time notification such that when a healthcare facility uploads a shift, it just sends a real-time notification right away, and that's real time. All right, moving on to the next feature. So right now we kind of like rearranged things. So right now when a staffing agency goes now to the request page, again, this is the page where they see all the open shifts. Now we arranged this in alphabetical order, so you can really see it right now because again, this is for demo purposes. So we just have like two facilities. We just created two dummy facilities. So but right now facilities can see the facility names in alphabetical order, and again, this makes it a lot easier for them to actually find certain facilities they're looking for, because a lot of this a lot of these terms will always require that they'll always call their staffing agents or their staffing agencies and tell them that they really like working at a certain facility, and they usually ask their staffing agency to look to see if there are any open shifts in that particular facility. So what the staffing agency is going to do is they're going to come here and they're going to we made it in alphabetical order now so they can easily find the facility they're looking for. So that's kind of one thing we added. Another thing we added to is, when a staffing agency sees a shift they like, and when they click on suggest, so this is where they actually suggest a temp. So now we notice that some staffing agencies have a lot of temps on the platform. So we now wanted it to be easier for them to search through temps, because obviously not every temp is available to work for a particular shift. But if there's an available temp right now, we added like this real-time search feature. So if they start typing, so if we start typing real time, it just filters. I'm gonna do that again. So right now we have two names. If we start typing, it filters in real time so they can easily find the term they're looking for. Again, this is all about making life for the staffing agencies and the healthcare facilities easy. So now when they filter and they find the term they're looking for, they just click on that and they suggest temp. So that's kind of how that feature works. And a lot of the staffing agencies really like this, and we're glad. And this was actually a recommendation from one of the staffing agencies, so we implemented that. So since we get a lot of the feature requests and through our emails, we just decided to make it really easy. So we added this button where they can go on there and they can suggest any features. And usually when a lot of features come in, obviously we cannot do every feature every time. We usually take the ones that are most requested features, and we implement them. And we also do features that when people suggest and we think that it's really good, so we usually work in that as well. We're still working on a lot of features, but so far these are the features we did for the staffing agencies.
What would you say your favorite feature is that out of these new ones?
I'll say my favorite feature is the real-time notification.
Yeah.
I think I had fun working on that, and I think the staffing agencies, we got a lot of feedback from that particular feature, and I'll say that's my favorite feature.
Super helpful.
What about you? What do you think?
I just heard a couple that I didn't even know about. Like the real-time notifications is super helpful. I think the map thing too. The map, so you can see where the locations are.
Where the locations are, yes.
That makes it 10 times easier.
Exactly. So yeah, a lot of a staffing agency, we kind of want to put everything in one page. We don't, we don't want people to keep clicking and clicking in order to get
Right, right.
what you're looking for. Kind of, figure out a professional way to put everything in one page to make things a lot easier for them. So that's kind of why we added this map feature where they can hover and see the particular address. So it makes their life a lot easier. We added a lot of, if you notice, we added a lot of filters. If you go to the orders page, we added the order of, where they can filter with order IDs. Again, this is all about making life easier. And I would say my second favorite feature is the documents one, because when we implemented this, it was funny because one, a staffing agency, once we implemented it and once we launched it live, it just, the system just went through, because after every 24 hours, once it's 24 hours, we set up a cron job that kind of activates after 24 hours. So after 24 hours, that happens, and the system goes through the entire platform and checks to see which documents are expired. So that happened when we launched it, and this staffing agency noticed that a few of their terms driver's license were expired, and so that it was a neat tool, and they were excited about that because right now the system kind of informs them of what's going on the platform, so they can manage things a lot easier.
So I got a question about the documents. So if
Hmm.
you if I have an expired document like it says right here,
Yeah.
um, and I upload it, it how long would it take for it to change from yes to no?
So again, it takes 24
Just
hours.
24 hours.
So yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
it
awesome.
depends. It depends when you upload it. So the gap is 24 hours, one
Okay.
day. So if you upload it, maybe you say probably at like 5 p.m. Depending on when that 24 hours counter
Okay.
started,
Okay.
once it gets to the 24-hour point, as the cron job activates every 24 hours. But so that it checks the system every single day. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, for the staffing agencies. Um, if you guys notice, a lot of the shifts are clean, and that's because we also created a cron job, that kind of deletes odd order shifts on the platform. So when the shift when the shift's start date, when the shift's end date is passed, the system will check after every 24 hours to see which shifts are old on the platform, and it just deletes that shift, so the
That's good
system
too.
just has current shifts. You know what I'm saying?
I like that too. That way you're not as cluttered. You don't see a bunch of old stuff. Yeah,
Is exactly,
that's dope.
exactly. All right, so we're gonna jump into the another feature we built. Is called the master account. We have a couple of agencies on that master account already. So I'm gonna log in and kind of show you what a master account is. So for that, we're gonna log into a healthcare facility. Again, this was a staffing agency portal. So we're gonna go ahead and log into a healthcare facility portal. So I'm gonna click on log out, and second here, so I grab a username. Um, so we're gonna do this one right here. So Jane. All right. So this is how a healthcare facility looks. It kind of looks similar to the staffing agency, but again, if you notice, there are um, different menu items. So this is kind of how it looks like. The healthcare facilities can add shifts, or they can import shifts with Excel files. So this kind of how it looks like. So right here, what we're looking at is it's a normal healthcare facility account. So we noticed that a lot of facilities on our platform, we have a couple facilities that are under a management group. So basically, there's a management group, and they have like several different facilities under them. So we wanted to make life a lot easier for the management group, so they can easily log into each of these facilities and easily control the things that are going on there. So what we did was because we had cases where people running the management group, they couldn't really they will have to like log into each facility each time. They need a different email and different password to always log in. So it was like inconvenient on their part, and that's not what Nurzee is all about. We're trying to make life a lot easier for healthcare facilities and staffing agencies. So we created a master account for the people we have management groups. So right here, this is a number healthcare facility. This healthcare facility actually is under a management group, and we're gonna log into the management group so you guys can see how it looks. But just to talk about the little things we added here. So if we go to shifts right here, we added more filters. If we go to orders, so we added more filters, just to make it in such a way that it's easier for them to search through orders and shifts they've posted. So obviously, these shifts right here are shifts that this particular facility has posted online. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and log out from this and log into the management group that this facility is under. Again, not all facilities are under management groups. There are some independent facilities, but there are some of them that they have like a some sort of like a management head. You know what I'm saying? So they have like different facilities under that main head.
So it'd be like one umbrella that
Right.
controls a bunch of different other
Facilities,
facilities through one master account.
Exactly,
Awesome.
exactly. So we introduced a master account just to kind of make it a lot easier for the people in that management group. All right,
Definitely.
all right. So I'm gonna log out and log into a management group, a master account. So let me get the username here real quick.
So just to be clear one more time, so this account would be if I was if I was the person in charge of multiple facilities.
Exactly. So if you were like a director of staffing or something, and you're at the head, and you guys have several different branches, several different facilities with different names and stuff, so you can, yeah, this is the master account that you log in. Because what we do is, in the back end, we created that feature where we link facilities to one master account.
That way I don't
So
have to log into 7 different accounts every day.
exactly. Yeah, imagine having 7 facilities under your management group, and you have to log into each of these facilities every single time if you want to check what is going on
That's a
and
lot.
all that. Yep. So right now, so we're gonna log into a management group. So we're gonna click sign in now. So as you can see, you notice a few things. We notice two new items. So you see the logs and you see the facility portals. So now this is a management group. So they have like these two portals under them. So these are two separate facilities under this management group. So now we created this master account functionality where a master account can easily log into the different facilities under their management, and it makes managing items a lot easier for them. So take for example, like right here you see POA management. So take for example, we want to log into 123 Healthcare Facility LLC. All we gotta do is just click on this, and that automatically logs us in immediately.
Oh, that's cool.
So it saves a lot of time from trying to figure out what email you had to log into the other. This takes a lot of time, and once the login here, all the sessions, everything updates. So basically, if we're going to the payments, we'll see the payments related to this particular facility and all of that. And we can go back and forth. We can go to ABC Healthcare facility as long as the facilities are linked to that master account. And this is something we manually do in the back end. As long as they're linked to that master account, a management group can easily just go back and forth. And
Awesome.
so if we go back to the management group, we also created like a logs. So it's like more like a master log. So this kind of tells the management group what is going on in each of their facilities. Right now it's empty because again, this is we just replicated this demo site just today, and so it doesn't really have a lot of activity. So usually in a typical situation, the master account will see it will see logs of everything that is going on in the different facilities, and that helps them manage better. So we kind of added that and the facility portals, and again, this is now a management um, a master account. One other thing we did too is when filtering through when a staffing agency is filtering through the different facilities, they will not see this because we they don't see master accounts because a master account is technically not a facility. It's just more of a management body that manages the facilities under them. So that was a feature we added. uh,
Awesome. I love it. Master accounts.
mhm.
That's great. For those of you who have multiple facilities, this is perfect for you. If you know anybody with multiple facilities, this would be perfect for them. Stress reliever, to say the least.
Yes, exactly. All right, that kind of concludes the some of the interesting things we worked on for the staffing agencies and the healthcare facilities. We're still having a few things in the works. We're still always perfecting this. And for those people who don't know, we actually do have a mobile app. You can find that on the App Store. It's called the Nurzee Temp. It's called Nurzee Temp. So that's to help the temp. So what the app does is so staffing agencies should definitely recommend that their temps download the app, because what the app does is when a temp logs into the app, the temp sees his or her calendar right away. So the calendar with a lot of all their shifts and all that is all on that app. So we kind of made it easier for the temps. If they want to have access to their calendars, they don't need to like always call the staffing agencies every time. They can just have access to that through that mobile app. So staffing agencies, definitely check that out. It's gonna save you guys a lot of time. So
Nurzee Temp.
yeah,
Nurzee
it's
Temp.
again, yeah, it's on the iOS App Store and the Android Play Store. You can go on there and just search Nurzee Temp, and it's gonna take you right to the app.
Perfect.
One last thing I wanna you, One last thing I wanted to add is we added a blog. For those some people asked for it. Some people don't know about it yet, but we did add a blog. So I'm just gonna click on there. So on this blog, we're just gonna be always adding articles, of items related to healthcare facilities and healthcare staffing agencies. So this blog is gonna be we have a whole team that's dedicated to creating articles, videos, and all that. Actually, Vidal, the person who started the video, is actually a director of marketing. So he's the one heading this whole department right here. So we're gonna be populating a blog with a lot of useful information relating to the healthcare facilities and staffing agencies. So if you guys want to stay current, stay updated, you can definitely subscribe your email here, so you can always get you can always be informed when we post new blogs, new articles,
Tips,
and
tricks,
tips,
stuff
and
for
yeah.
staffing agencies. Even new features we'll probably post on there eventually too.
Right, exactly. And as a VMS company, we're kind of updated with a lot of the rules, a lot of the laws and stuff, all around healthcare facilities and staffing agencies. Precisely like the healthcare medical staffing agencies. So we're kind of current with all the new laws and new rules regarding that, and we're always going to post them on our blog. So definitely, keep a watch on that, and always try to go on there.
Definitely, definitely. Patrice, man, you did really good.
Thank you
That was
very
really
much.
good. There's actually some features in there that I didn't even know
Know
about.
about
Like the master account, that thing is,
it's pretty
man.
good.
That's what you haven't gotten any sleep, huh?
Yep.
So just to recap, that was over 10 features. Actually, I think it was closer to 13 or 14. Everything from the submit form, the real-time notifications, to the maps, and even the master accounts. We got it all. I know we kind of covered a lot of information, but that's okay. We're here to help you guys. I will be giving everybody who's on our platform an email in the next 1 or 2 days, basically recapping what Patrice went through today. It will be section by section. And again, this is basically like a training video. So if you're stuck at any point, you can just go back through the live and leave us a comment, and we check those every day. But we do appreciate you showing up on the live. Share this with anybody who has facilities or is in staffing just in the industry in any kind of way. This could be really really helpful for them. Again, just share it. Comment any questions. If you have any questions, I'll stay live for a couple more minutes to see if the questions filter in. If not, then we'll just have a nice weekend. But I think Patrice really covered it all, though. He he um he went through everything from. It seems like he kind of covered it all. Everything from the
Yeah.
temp, from the agency to the facility, and even on our side. Our mission, like he said, we want to help staffing agencies and facilities in the best way possible that we can, and we believe that these 14 or 15, however many was, new features can help you staff your people easier, make your life easier. It just makes it easier. And again, just go back through the video. Anything that you want to ask, we will be looking at these comments all weekend. So yeah, enjoy your weekend. Those are 15 new features. Look out for that email. I'll be sending that here in the next probably 5 minutes, and it's just going to be like a recap of everything that we went through. All right, guys. See you on next week's live.
Friday, 3 o'clock.
Friday, 3 o'clock. All right, you guys. Have a nice weekend.